Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings have been the biggest story in the NFL this year. They are just dominating everybody. They beat the 49ers. They clobbered the Houston Texans last week. And it's surprising to see Minnesota having so much success with Sam Darnold at quarterback. This is a journeyman. He's been around the block. The New York Jets, the Carolina Panthers, the 49ers, and it has now taken him, 7, 8 years into the league to finally be put in a good situation. And when it comes to if this is just our early season good story that's going to fade once we get into November, late December, the Minnesota Vikings end up collapsing, coming back down to earth, Sam Darnold's play declines, I don't see that happening. Because I don't know how many of you guys remember this, but in 2017, the Vikings went to the NFC Conference Championship game with Case Keenum at quarterback. This is not the first time that the Vikings have dominated the league with the journeyman quarterback. At the start of the 2017 season, Sam Darnold was the start. Well, Sam Bradford, was the starter. And he played in 2 games. They went 2-0 during that stretch. And like always, Sam, made of glass Bradford, got injured. And Case Keenum came in. And at this time, he bounced around. He was on St. Louis, started out with the Houston Texans, and he ends up getting the start for Minnesota. He leads them to the NFC North title. They end up winning the division. They go 13-3 in the process. He also throws the Minneapolis Miracle Ball to Stephon Diggs against New Orleans, and they end up getting blasted by the Philadelphia Eagles in the conference championship game, but he was really good during that season. 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He threw for 3,547 passing yards. They had a great defense. Mike Zimmer was still the head coach during that time, and his defenses were actually good during this year. And it was a large reason why the Vikings had the success that they did in 2017. Nobody really expected for Minnesota to be as good as what they were in 2017 with Sam Bradford starting. And when he got injured, all hope was lost. And Case Keenum and the Vikings just proved everybody wrong. They had one of the best records in the league at that time. And it looks like the Minnesota Vikings are doing the same thing that they did in 2017 this season, being able to win with Sam Darnold. The talent has always been there with Sam. He's pretty good outside the pocket, decent athlete, pretty accurate inside of the numbers, but he has really elevated his game to a level that we haven't seen before. And in the NFL, everybody develops at a different rate. Now you only got 2, maybe 3 years to prove that you actually have the capability to be an elite quarterback before a team ends up moving on for you. And sometimes it may take a guy 5, maybe 8 years to reach his potential. In the NBA, it happens all the time. You got guys that get drafted 20, 21 years old, only 1 year out of college, and their first 5, 6 years in the NBA, they don't really do anything. And then they get into their 7th, 8th year, and all of a sudden, they're an all-star, and they become one of the best players at their position. In the NFL, you can see the same thing happen with quarterbacks. Geno Smith, it took him damn near a decade plus to finally start playing some good football. Baker Mayfield, it's taking him a while to play up to his potential. For certain guys, it doesn't always click right away. It's also about the situation that they get put in. Sam Darnold has played in some really dysfunctional situations. Adam Gase as his head coach with the Jets. The Carolina Panthers weren't really that good. The 49ers, he was nothing better than a backup. But with the Minnesota Vikings, they have taken this dude, put all their confidence in him, and they've given him a really good team around him. You got Justin Jefferson on pace to be an all-time great. You got a good offensive line. You got one of the best offensive minds in the league and Kevin O'Connell. Don't just look at this Minnesota success story with Sam Darnold as something that just is a flash in the pan, because they actually do have the capability to carry this momentum all throughout this season. Are they going to be a Super Bowl contender? Probably not, but they definitely are more than equipped to win a playoff game or two because they've done this before in 2017 with Case Keenum.